morning, kids. What time is it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what time it is, Geek Time. It's past our bedtime. Santa's coming.
It's time for week 16.
Week 16. What's Santa going to bring us? See, I got my little hat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look really good.
Got my Charlie Brown tree. Ready to go. Speaking of Charlie Brown, I stopped after on my way home because the farm near your house, they have the big Charlie Brown display outside. So I got out and I Skyped a video to my daughter. Showing her, of course, like an idiot, I'm in sneakers and all the snow melted. So I'm out there in like ankle deep mud. It was horrible. What I do for my child.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we do. They do a nice job there at Beaumont Farm. It's great.
Yeah, they do.
Anyone watching this in the greater Connecticut area, if you're in central Connecticut in Wallingford, go to Beaumont Farm and check out. Every year they do a new theme. I think, was it last year they had Rudolph? Or was it the year before?
I think they had Frozen. Did they have Frozen last year?
Frozen, yeah, they had Frozen. Either last year or the year before. I know they had the one with Meister Burger and the Heat one year. They do a great job. It's awesome. Of course, when I drove by earlier today, there was snow, but it's like 65 degrees on Christmas Eve here in Connecticut, and everything's melting. Yeah. There's fog everywhere. It's just crazy, and it's going to be warmer tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why we love Connecticut. Just like the NFL, giving you the unexpected.
It's like a Rian Johnson Star Wars movie. It subverts our expectations.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, let's get to it, shall we? Let's bring it up here. First, oops. They added some new stuff to StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
Some fancy new looks, but we'll save them for the new year. So let's see. I stand at 72-38 with 2 weeks to go, and you stand one game behind, 71-39.
Only 2 weeks ago. Damn.
The good news is we don't have losing records, and we get like basically 2 out of 3 right. So that's kind of good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really good.
That gives us a little bit of street cred, right?
Yes, it's really good, actually.
All right. So let's start with our Christmas Day matchup.
I love the graphics.
Whoops, where'd it go? There it is.
That's awesome.
The little Santa hats on them. They're playing on Christmas.
Watching a grumpy Viking wearing a hat.
It fit perfect on him. The Saints logo was hard to do it with.
I know.
Maybe I should have got the Saints helmet instead and put the Christmas hat on the helmet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I expect what I expect tomorrow. I expect the Saints to take care of business because they're in some trouble.
Yeah, 2-game losing streak, but Breeze got out there last game and he had a rusty start, but he got into his groove in the second half. So I expect him to be good this game. He got all the rust off, so I expect him to be really good in this game because the Viking defense has been going downhill over the last few weeks. Yeah, I agree with you. I expect them to take care of business, just not even make it a close one.
Yeah. They're at home, national TV. They're 1 game behind Green Bay with 2 to play, so they have to win out and hope something happens to the Packers. Yeah. And they basically need Green Bay to lose twice because Green Bay's got the tiebreaker.
That's true.
So,
I mean, they can only do what they can do and just hope for the best.
Yep.
But either way, even if they think there's not even much of a chance to cut, you got to keep winning these games because you want to go into the playoffs with that momentum. Can't just sit back.
Yeah, exactly. And you still want to get as high a seed as possible. You want to have as many home games as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's always, we've seen it, the number 1 seed goes out in the wild card or something, or the divisional round, and it opens right up, drops to the number 2 or 3 seed. So anything can happen when the season starts over.
Yeah.
Next up, another game I expect pretty much business as usual.
Yeah, I think this will be pretty much one-sided for Tampa Bay. I mean, their offense is, averaging like 30 points.
Yeah.
Somehow, even when they like start really, really slow and don't do anything in the first half, they somehow always wind up with at least 30 points, right around that much.
Yeah.
They heat up. And the Detroit defense, I mean, not only are they not that great, but they've been riddled with injuries on top of that. So I really don't expect this to be much of a game.
No, and Tampa's defense looks like they're getting back to. Remember, in the middle of the season, they looked like really,
kind of
powerful. They looked really good, and then they kind of fell off
and
again.
then they started faltering. Yeah, yep.
And now it looks like they're getting their act back together just in time for the playoffs. I tell you that Devin White is all over the field.
Yeah,
and so Jack Barrett. They got some linebackers that ball
I mean,
out.
when they played Kansas City, I mean, granted the Chiefs got up to a really hot start, but in the second half they forced the Chiefs to fumble to punt like 4 or 5 straight times. I mean, they're good.
Yeah, they are. It's going to be interesting to watch Tampa Bay because I just still not quite sold all the way on them yet, but
they have the potential to really
they do
anybody in the NFC.
Yeah. Next game on Saturday is at 4:30, and this is weird. It's Amazon Prime only.
Yeah. Yep.
That's really kind of strange.
It is strange. Usually it'll be Amazon Prime and then something else, but
right, like the previous game, the Tampa Bay games on NFL Network and also streaming on Amazon Prime. Actually, it's on like 3. Where is it? That one's on NFL Network. Sorry, it's the Christmas Day is on Fox NFL Network.
Right. They want everybody to get the nice Christmas
one. Yeah.
So I guess they're kind of like pairing these. One game will just be exclusively on NFL, and the other one exclusively on Amazon, just to give each one
right
some exclusivity, I guess, or a lot of the viewership. Yeah, I'm going to be interested in watching this game, but I think it also could potentially be a one-sided because we talked about it all year. San Francisco now they lost Mostert again. Mostert again. Samuel's already out. They're down to their third string quarterback.
They are getting Kittle back though.
Yeah, that's true. Best receivers gets back, but I mean. The Cardinals look like they're also heating up after hitting a bump in the middle there too. So that's why I was interested to see if Murray's going to continue with his how he was before his injury, just with the running and the aerial attack. So I think just because they're just stronger. I mean, they're let's say less injured, I guess. I don't see the Cardinals losing this game.
No, me either. I think the Cardinals, so far, the games are almost all the same to me.
Yeah.
Have a good team that needs to, establish themselves for the playoffs and get in and lock up a spot, and a team that's struggling and or done. So to me, this looks just like Tampa Bay or just like New Orleans. The Cardinals have to take care of business. So I expect them to head home. So the last game of the day, this is really going to be fun. For me, not so much for you. You'll probably be gnawing your fingers to the bone.
That's right.
On the NFL channel.
I almost forgot about this one.
Yeah. Saturday night special, the Donnybrook. A couple of weeks ago, this looked like it could really be winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home.
This was like an elimination
game.
But
the Raiders, for whatever reason, sprung a leak.
Yeah.
Along the way. Yeah, and they don't look very good all of a sudden.
And this could have been even worse off if they hadn't pulled out the miracle against the Jets. So,
right, you're right. They could be 6-8 right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very nervous about this game because I still see these two teams as pretty much just even, despite what the Raiders what's been happening with them.
There's I'm not going to here for the Raiders. If they lose, they're out.
Oh yeah, that's definitely an elimination game, and with the Dolphins, it could be as well, because the Ravens are hot on their heels, and they have an easy schedule. All they really have to do is win out and have the Dolphins lose one of their games, and so this could be it.
That's a good point.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins, but not like super confident. It's more like a wishful thinking type thing. But they've proven all year long pretty much that they get a lot of contribution from all three phases of their team, and I expect it to happen again, and somehow one of those phases, whether it's defense or special teams, I think will make a difference here. It's probably what I'm hoping for. But that's what I think too.
Well said. Yeah, I think they're more balanced all the way around. Oakland's sporadic. I mean, Vegas is sporadic. I mean, tomorrow they could show up and throw 40 points on the board and look amazing because they have that potential on offense. Then again, tomorrow they could show up or Saturday rather, they could show up and struggle to score 17 points and look horrible in the process. So you just don't know who you're getting week to week with this team. And it looked like back in the middle of the season, Chucky had it figured out and they were steamrolling toward the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now they terrify me because I don't know which way to pick with them.
You're right.
Because they're so Jekyll Hyde. But I'm with you. I think the Dolphins are smelling it. And you're right. They know that Baltimore's got an easier road. Sadly, all the Dolphins can do is take care of their own business and hope.
Well, that's it.
For something on the other side. So,
I mean, they have it in their hands. If they take care of their games, they're in.
Yeah, they have.
They need help. But, yeah.
They are in control of their own destiny at this point. So, I'm going to say that they find a way somehow. They find a way.
It's weird how just going back on the Raiders. It's like it's that second game against the Chiefs when they came so close. It was almost like psychologically not beating the Chiefs. Like it was almost like, oh, that's the end of our. I don't know. That's like it's almost like they
haven't won since, have they?
They beat the Jets.
Oh, the Jets.
But they should have lost that game too. I mean,
yeah.
It was just a really boneheaded play on the Jets. The Jets had that game, but yeah, technically. So I don't. It was almost like if we can't beat the Chiefs, then our season kind of doesn't mean anything. I don't know why.
It was weird, and it's the way they lost at the very end could have been really demoralizing because
they
played hard, and nobody gave them a shot to win that game. Nobody's like they're going to sweep. Nobody thought they could sweep the Chiefs, right. And they almost did. Did. But you're right; they've been struggling ever since. So, I mean, we'll find out Saturday night, but that's going to be a good one. One of the better ones this week.
Yeah, I love it. All Saturday, 3 games.
Yep. Sunday at 1:00 on the CBS network. The Colts are going to put a whooping on the Steelers.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not sure if they're going to put a whooping on. I mean, I'm still picking the Colts, but I'm not. I'm a little nervous picking them because the Colts have one of those things where they're kind of a little bit up and down too, and sometimes they lay an egg. And I mean, the Steelers are on a 3-game losing streak, but they won 11 games for a reason. So, I think this will be close, even though I'm going with the Colts. They do have. I think that the passing on both sides are about this. They both have the short passing. I don't think either one of them goes deep, but the Colts also have a pretty good running game on top of that, which I know the Steelers are struggling with.
Yes, the Steelers have been last and second to last in rushing 2 years in a row now. No, yeah, the Colts are going to put up some points because the Colts can stretch the field. The Steelers cannot. The Steelers' problems go back to around the Dallas game, maybe even that the Baltimore game. And even though they had won 11 games, the problems were there. They were able to overcome them. To me, it looks like, and we've seen this in baseball, where a pitcher has Tommy John surgery and by late August has a dead arm. Tired arm. It's tired. Ben's arm looks to be that way. And it's the way that they've been talking all week on the local Pittsburgh sports radio, and he's not exactly denying it emphatically enough, and it's almost like he's acknowledging it, but he doesn't want to acknowledge. He had Chase Claypool open several times down the seam against Cincinnati and opted to throw into double coverage about 2 yards on a 3rd and 7 when he had an obvious touchdown downfield more than once. And he's been kind of accused of not that he didn't see him open, it's that he knew he couldn't reach him.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't even. It's bad. They have a high school level offense right now. He cannot throw the ball past 10 yards, and he's something like, I heard this horrible stat. He's like 14 for 47 on 10 yards plus in the last 4 games or something like that. So he can't. It's bad. It's a mess, and they're going to get clobbered. They're not going to win again. I'm telling you, they're not going to win again. They're done.
I mean, a pretty good offensive scheme can work with that.
But that's the problem too. They don't have one. They run an antiquated offense. Like it's so old school. There's no imagination. They're a mess. It's going to be some changes in the offseason because this is going to be an epic collapse.
They'll probably have to watch out for our old buddy DeForest Buckner too. He might be breathing down his neck.
Exactly. So in their the Steelers' offensive line is bad and banged up anyway, and they have no linebackers. Vince Williams is playing this week, but so they have 2 actual middle linebackers. There's no depth there. They're using safeties as linebackers who are getting trucked. It's not working. There's too many. It's almost like last year again. There's just too many holes to patch, and Tomlin can only do so much. They're not. The personnel's just not there. And the fact that they have gone several years now without seriously thinking about Ben's replacement.
Yeah, I agree was a bad decisions.
The fact that they didn't even think about it this year.
Yeah.
After what happened last year, elbow surgery. What if it doesn't work?
Right.
You got to put Mason. You're going to go back to what you did last year. That's insane.
No.
That's insane. They could have picked up Joe Flacco. They could have brought in Jameis Winston. They could have got some kind of veteran in there to back him up just in case. Now they're stuck. Yeah,
that's definitely on the front office.
Now they're stuck. He had 7 passing yards in the first half with 2 picks and a fumble last week. You sit him, but they can't sit him because the option behind him's worse.
No, they can't.
So they're done. The Falcons are done too.
And it seems to be a familiar theme with the lopsided stuff here.
Yeah,
maybe some of these games won't be like that because sometimes things get twisted. But
I think the Falcons can keep up with this team for a while because they can score.
Yeah, and let's face it, they've been a lot more competitive ever since with Raheem Morris has been there. Their defense has been better. And Kansas City I don't think they've beaten like a team by more than 1 score in a long time since the beginning.
6 or 7 games in a row now, right?
Yeah. So I still think they'll win. And I think by the end, they'll be like one of those where, you knew it all along that they'd win, but still, I don't think it's going to be a big blowout either.
No. And I'm pretty sure they have to win 1 more to clinch the number 1 seed, right?
Yep.
Because for whatever reason, Buffalo can catch them, and then
that's right. Buffalo is like, I can't believe
Buffalo and Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's not going to catch them. Pittsburgh's going the other direction, but the Bills still have an outside shot at it. I guess the Steelers mathematically do too. I think the Steelers get the tiebreaker against the Chiefs.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Well, you're right. Kansas City will end up winning, but this could be one of those surprise games where they get ambushed.
Is it in Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably less of a chance
less of a chance, but there's always that.
Yeah.
Knowing they got to win one of the last 2 games and the first opponent's a pretty bad team.
They could be more nonchalant about it.
Yep. How about the monsters of the Midway coming on strong now, trying to get in there at the last minute?
Man, if these guys make the playoffs, it's going to be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, we'll look like idiots. We put a fork in them on Thanksgiving.
And I think this will be the week where I finally pick them. not that it's a brilliant, not that I'm any brilliant.
Yeah, way to go out on a limb there, Edson.
Yeah, exactly. Even now, I'm still thinking, should I? It's like, but it's like they they found that running game with Montgomery. I mean, I can only assume their offensive line just kind of started gelling better. And then once that running game goes, Trubisky, he's been following that up with a nice passing game, minimizing his mistakes. And we know what the Jaguars are.
It took a few weeks after. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Matt said he wasn't going to call plays anymore.
Right.
And now they have someone else calling the plays. And right, the first couple of weeks we're like, well, so much for that. They still can't do anything.
Right.
But then Foles goes out, and in comes Trubisky, and now they're putting up 30 points.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row already.
Who knew? So this game does alarm me, though, only because I've been reading too many Bears fans' comments online, and they're convinced that this is the week they lay an egg and get beat by Jacksonville. Wow. They're convinced of it. Minshew's in there, so the Jaguars are a little more potent with him, and James Robinson can run the ball.
I mean, it definitely would
revert to the Mitch Trubisky of old. The Jags have a legitimate shot at winning this game.
It wouldn't shock me if that happened, because the Bears have a chance to lay an egg against basically any team. But
exactly,
there's also that, like, and I know we don't like to talk about whether a team purposely does something, but it's like now the Jaguars have the inside lead on getting that number 1 pick. Are they gonna? How is this gonna affect them, like, psychologically? Are some of them thinking
tanking for Trevor?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Now that they have a chance at it,
the one guy who won't be is Gardner Minshew, because he wants.
That's true for sure. Yeah.
So, that's going to be interesting to watch. This much like the Atlanta Chiefs, this could end up, the Bears could roll into an ambush, but I don't know. We'll see. The team that ambushed my team last week is in Houston.
And I think they had, like, one of those games where they were like, that was kind of like their Super Bowl of the season. It's like that.
Oh my God! Finley had 86 yards passing.
No, meaning not that they did. Meaning
no. I see what you mean. They feel like they killed the Giant.
Something like that.
They had never They had never beaten Ben Roethlisberger in Cincinnati or whatever it was. So, yeah.
And I think they'll have not that they're a bad team. You have to give them a reason to have a down game after a good game. But, I mean, I've been liking how the Texans have been playing all year long. It's just they haven't been able to just get over the hump and win a lot of games. But
Bill O'Brien dismantled too many key parts.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But Deshaun Watson's he hasn't taken a step back on any of these games, even despite having all the pieces around him, like no running game, most of his receivers
hurt all the time.
In addition to Hopkins being traded away, but he still puts up the numbers. It's just not enough. Like you said, he doesn't have enough around him.
No, and their defense is starting to age out.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. They've really taken a step back.
It's age. Most of them are 30 years older or older, right? So,
but I'm going with the Texans on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see the Bengals winning 2 in a row with the personnel they put out on the field. I watched that game Monday night. It was astonishing that they were manhandling Pittsburgh with the team they put out on the field. I mean, there's Giovanni Bernard is not an A-list running back by any stretch. Finley is their third-string quarterback. They still have the 3 great receivers. Yeah, but their defense is pedestrian. Their secondary played better than I thought they were going to. But then again, when the opposing quarterback can't throw it more than 10 yards, how difficult is this? They said they actually got the Washington football team told Cincinnati to use the game film, the Ravens defensive game film from when the Ravens practice team almost beat the Steelers.
Yeah, that was kind
Washington used that game film and the Bengals used that game film, and the Steelers can't move the ball.
That was alarming against the Ravens too. Yeah,
they can't move the ball, and now it's out there. Just use this game plan, and you'll shut them down. So we're back on the Steelers. I didn't mean to go to the Steelers. Cincinnati though. They caught lightning in a bottle because they played a borderline incompetent offense. That's not going to happen this week. Deshaun Watson's going to go berserk on them.
Yeah, I think he will.
They're not going to contain him. So, yeah, Houston at home. So far we have all the same picks.
Yep.
So hopefully the next half of, we got about 8 more games here. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have 8 left. So
wow,
maybe these 8 will be completely opposite. But I doubt it when you start with a game that looks like, where is it in my list here? I lose these graphics. Here it is. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Another inverted records game where these records are inverted with each other. The Ravens need to win out if they want that last playoff spot.
Yeah, they're
the
playing
Giants
for
need
playoffs.
to win out if they want one. I think Jones is coming back this week. I saw that.
Oh, okay. Still, from what I've seen from the Giants the last few weeks, I mean, it can't just be missing Jones. There's problems all over the place. Their
offensive line is a mess.
Yeah, their offensive line. You can
that
start
rookie
there.
left tackle is a swinging door, man. He's bad. He's bad. Just let him by.
I mean, yeah, and their offense has had enough issues. They can't just move the ball against anybody. But on top of that, it's just affecting their defense now because their run defense now over the last couple of weeks have been giving up quite a lot of yardage.
They're logging a lot of mileage and time. They're out of the field.
And guess who they're playing? It's the Ravens.
The team that runs the ball like nobody's business. Yeah.
So
I'm with you. So I think we're gonna have the same pick again.
Yep, Ravens.
I think Ravens big.
As much as I'll be probably rooting for the Giants.
Oh, I'm rooting for the Giants. There's no doubt about that. But it's the Ravens big. So while the Giants are on the road, the team they share the stadium with is home against the flying Baker Mayfields.
Wow. What an amazing how they've matured. That team has matured, the Browns, since that blowout against that they lost to the Steelers. We're back to the Steelers.
I'd like to take credit for saying once again, because now all the mainstream media has been saying it for the last 2 weeks that, ever since OBJ went out, it's like a different team. I'm like, well, yeah, I know. I said that would happen. It just took like 2 or 3 weeks for it to actually settle in.
Yep.
But I think they put a graphic up that like Mayfield's his rating was like a 74 with OBJ and it's 114 without him. So what does that tell you?
And it was, and you talked about it like the week after, and all I could hear from the so-called experts was the week after when the Browns didn't do that well because it took a couple weeks, like you said. They're like, oh, he's missing OBJ. And yeah, okay. Now everybody's
they had to figure out how to change the offense enough, and he didn't have him bugging in his ear to get the ball.
He looks like
addition by subtraction. These diva wide receivers are just a waste of time. I don't know why people sign them. Don't sign them.
Yeah, exactly. There's
so much talent out there. Just sign some kid who really wants to play, not some asshole who wants to be in charge of the team. Thinks that 7 to 10 catches a game in the ultimate team sport thinks that they're better than the rest of the team because they factor into 7 to 10 plays total of like 75 offensive snaps.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
I've never understood why all these teams always bend the knee to these receivers. I'm like, just chuck them, get rid of them. They barely affect. I mean, okay, spectacular touchdown here or there, but really, in the grand scheme of things, they're less than 10% of the offensive output.
Yeah,
just chuck them. Chuck them. They're not worth the headaches and the schisms in the locker room. And look at how Baker Mayfield has completely changed.
It's amazing. All you really have to do is just sit down and watch like a couple of quarters of him playing. Like I watched that whole Browns Ravens game. It's amazing how he just like nothing bothered him. He was
shrugged it all off, didn't blink.
He looked like all pro, just whatever. It's like, oh, I have a minute to score a touchdown. Yeah, don't worry, no problem. Or I have 2 minutes. Let me do it in a minute. It's like, holy cow.
That same team, week 3 or week 4, in the same situation, he throws a pick on the first play.
Yep.
Because he's looking for OBJ.
Yeah.
So, we've seen it throughout history with T.O. and Antonio Brown. Like, it's one after the next. Keyshawn Johnson when he was with the Jets. These guys are pain in the asses. They're just not worth the headache, man.
And you saw it twice with OBJ, back with the Giants and with the Browns. You saw him doing it twice.
Right. So whoever ends up making the trade for him in the offseason, good luck. You're going to blow your team up. We'll have to make predictions in the off season where
Yeah,
people are going to go.
Wind up.
But that said, I guess we're going
Browns
with
on
the
this one. Yeah,
Browns on this one. I'm telling you, the Browns are going to win the division.
Uh,
They're going to win the division because they got Pittsburgh week 17. They're going to beat them.
wow, that actually might be for the division. That's insane.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I'm calling it. Mark it down. Next up, one of my favorite teams to watch right now. I'm in love with this team because they're starting to come together. I can't find it. Where is it? I'm losing my mind. Where is it? Here it is. Washington football team. You knew I was going to say that, huh?
Washington, yeah. That one you said, one of my friends. The thing is,
only with Smith at quarterback, though. Smith has to play quarterback.
That's the thing. They're in trouble. Like I don't know if it's
because they don't have any good wideouts. They really don't. Like, McLaurin's the only guy that can catch the ball.
Yep.
With any consistency, and the tight end's decent, but if they bring in a receiver or two next year, look out because they got two good running backs. They have a good quarterback, Alex Smith, who's I think now going to come back. Their defense is crazy good and getting better every game. This is a complete team in the making right here.
Is he back for this week? I was reading about it. It was kind of still up in the air.
No, I think Haskins was caught violating COVID protocol.
Yeah.
But they're not suspending him. They fined him because they need him to play because they don't have anybody else. So that is the one reason why I might take Matt Rule in Carolina.
I am taking Carolina, based on the fact that Smith, and I know that Gibson's not back yet either. I don't think.
No, Gibson's. I think he's listed as doubtful.
And I know that
even if he does, he won't play. He won't get the regular snaps he usually does. If he comes in, he'll get spot duty, and they'll still give McKissick the majority of the carries. So,
yeah. I don't say it confidently. I'm just thinking that Washington's offense is not the same thing as you said without Smith. And Carolina's had so many of these close games. I think they're just going to get one of these days, and I'm counting on this one.
Okay, we have one different.
Okay.
Because, I said I would be inclined to take Carolina, but I'm going to only because Washington's home.
Yep.
And their defense and special teams are so disruptive. We saw them score 23 points.
Yeah, they did.
Without the offense a couple of weeks ago. So they're capable of doing stuff like that. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring snooze fest.
Yep.
Like 17-13-ish. But I think I called them the Redskins. Football team will do just enough to win. So I got Washington, you got Carolina.
And I've been burned before by Carolina many times, and I think I'm going back into the fire again. But they keep
dip your toe in. Why not?
They keep like competing against anybody, and then it's they just can't finish.
No, and then the week you pick against them, that's the week they finish. This is a tough one too. Another tough one.
Another tough one. Yep. Both records and division in the division.
And almost mirror images of the way they're constructed.
Yeah.
Young, high-flying offense, spotty defense.
Yep.
Denver, if they had Von Miller, would be a different story with defense. Much like Buckner in Indianapolis, you bring him back, they got 2 more wins probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Von Miller. So next year when he's back, expect their defense to look completely different with him on the field.
Yeah, staying with the same theme as Carolina, I think I think also this one, the Chargers will finally just not blow this game, I think. And not for any specific, like a lot of reasons. You're right. What you just said, they're about even in every way possible. I think Herbert's more consistent than Locke. That's
the one difference on offense.
And yeah, that's about it. And it's a division game, so I think it'll still be close. But I don't see the Broncos. I believe they won I don't see the Broncos sweeping them on the second game. So I'm going with the Chargers.
We have two different.
Okay.
I'm going with Denver again. And I took Denver last week, too, against Buffalo. But the Broncos have this pattern.
They do. I know they do.
Kind of a win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Even though they've lost almost twice as many as they've won. I think they started like 1-4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then they started going into their
winning.
Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Yeah. The Chargers have such a bad defense and even worse clock management ability.
Yeah, that's true.
It's horrible. And I think it's going to be close. But I have a feeling, for whatever reason, I just feel like Denver's going to pull one out. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. The Chargers are a better team. They're slightly better, and it's because of the quarterback.
Not by much.
But I think Denver will have a new quarterback again next year. I honestly do. I think it's going to be like Sam Darnold or something. But
maybe.
There's something about the Broncos. It's my little brain, and you know me. I don't scribble it out. I'm not going to scribble it out this time. It says go with Denver. I'm going to go with Denver this time.
Yeah, it's like me with Carolina and you with them. It's like those teams have it somewhere.
Right.
They're watching our brains.
You know they're capable of pulling off the weird win you don't expect them to get. It's just you got to figure out which week it is.
Which one it is, yeah.
Which week it is, right? So if I take them 2 weeks in a row, law of averages is I should hit on one of them. Yeah. I just have a feeling. Next up.
Okay.
This is interesting. This is really, really interesting.
I mean, I thought so at first too, but then I started thinking, are you kidding me? It's like the Cowboys have not played somebody really that good when they won. They played an injury-riddled 49ers, and then they blitzkrieged Cincinnati, and they won those two games with a big turnover differential. Is it going to continue that way? Now, if Wentz was playing, I think maybe it would continue that way. But Hurts has shown me a couple of things the last few weeks that he can hurt you with both in the air and on the ground. At first, I thought, go ahead.
He's so appropriately named, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And at the beginning, when they beat the Saints, I thought, he's one of those typical running, Taysom Hill type. But no. Then against the Cardinals, he was 300 yards, almost 400 yards in the air. Are you kidding me? I think he's going to pull a number on the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, if you go back to his college career, was an Alabama quarterback. And he would have probably finished his career in Alabama if not getting supplanted by Tua, who was the better choice. So then he goes to Oklahoma. So he's a good player. I mean, he went to two big, power conference schools. So, and you're right. You think at first he's a Tebow-ish kind of guy, but no, he reminds me more of Donovan McNabb, especially wearing that uniform. He plays like him. He's built like him. We've only seen a small sample size now. 2 games.
It's true.
But he also shows tons of poise, and he looks like he's just having fun out there. So, that said, the Cowboys' defense is a mess. It's a mess. And
remember what the Ravens did to him?
Yeah. And Hurts has enough weapons with a receiver. He's got both tight ends back, right? Hurts is back now.
Yep.
I don't see this being a problem for them. So you're right. I'm going Philadelphia over Dallas. I'm with you on that one. All right, next up.
That's a good reminder about what Hurts having to play for two top college. And I wonder if that actually helped them become a better pro quarterback, having had those two different aspects. Some people would say no because you have to move around, but hey, you're getting exposure to two great offenses. That might have helped them.
Imagine being Nick Saban, and you play like a year or two with Hurts, right? And you're like, this is my guy. And then this kid Tua Tagovailoa, whatever, I can't say his name, Tagovailoa comes in, and you're like, oh, now what do I do?
Right. Can't wait till those two teams play at some future with Philadelphia and the Dolphins, if those two are still the quarterbacks.
If Hurts finishes the year like I suspect he will,
I know.
You will probably have ESPN put a Monday nighter next week if they're on the schedule. You'll see Eagles against Miami. It'll be a primetime game, either that or the NBC Sunday night.
Yep.
They're gonna want to see that. I mean,
for sure.
He could be the fourth quarterback gem this year now. You know,
Wow.
I mean, look at we got Joe Burrow, who's as real as they get. We got Tua, we got Herbert. And now we got Jalen Hurts. I mean, you know, the last quarterback-rich draft class was the 2004 draft class with Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers. And that was 3 of them. We might get 4 out of this one. That's crazy. Crazy. That goes back to like the years with Jim Kelly, Dan Marino. Remember the 83?
Yeah,
the
the
83 draft.
Yeah.
You know,
and
that brings 4 or 5 of them in that class.
Yeah, and that brings me back to like draft night when all those so-called experts were scratching their head. It's like, why would the Eagles be picking this guy up? Well,
right.
They seemed to know what they were doing. Maybe they saw something in that that Wentz wasn't going to recover and had to have you talked about Pittsburgh not having the backup plan. Well, looks like that it might have taken a little longer to implement the backup plan, but they seem to have one.
Actually, I was going to say they didn't wait very long at all. They had Nick Foles there until 2 years ago.
Right. No, I meant you're right. I didn't mean it in a way that they came in the year. I meant like this season. A lot of people are saying they should have benched Wentz.
Oh! I thought you meant
right.
finding a potential.
Picking a quarterback, you're right. No, they didn't wait at all. You're right.
They did the opposite of the Steelers.
Right. Which is why people were scratching their heads. Why were you picking him up? Yeah.
Right. Foles left for 1 year. Wentz didn't do much at all, and they went out and got another guy just in case for this year. And it worked. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh is like, yep. You know those 2 shitty players we put in place of Ben last year? That'd be fine.
We still got them.
It'll be fine, as the drinker likes to say. It'll be fine. And now they have to run Ben Roethlisberger out there, the turnover machine who can't throw the ball more than 10 yards because they don't want to put the other guys in there.
Yeah.
They're in trouble. Anyway, I keep saying it. They're in trouble. Rams, Seahawks.
This was probably my toughest game.
Yes. I think the Rams are going to be bloodthirsty after tanking against the Jets. Holy
crap. There's that aspect of it. There's the aspect
they don't have to travel very far, so they're not crossing any time zones. They're going straight up the West Coast. So
yep. There's also the thing that McVay knows how to play. If you look at the history of these two, recent history. They knows how to play the Seattle defense.
Yep.
Somehow they always do well against the Seahawks, and the Rams' own defense also knows how to have had a history of bottling up Russell Wilson, which makes me think that the Rams are going to win this game. I'm not saying that with confidence. Because after watching last week, why would you want to pick the Rams in any game? But there's the craziness of it.
No, it's true. And, Seattle didn't do much last week either.
Right. True.
This is a tough game.
Yeah.
This is a tough game because I almost feel like, in a way, the Rams are kind of desperate. They don't want to drop to 9-6 with one more to go.
Yep.
Boy, this is tough. I didn't even think about picking a winner on this one yet because I looked at it when I was putting the graphics together and I'm going,
I'll think about it later.
This is tough. Yeah, I'll think about it later. Yeah. Holy moly. Yeah, this is.
I know.
Boy, this is a coin flip game. I'll go with Seattle at home. I think they'll find a way. What's going to be fun to watch is DK Metcalf on Jalen Ramsey.
Yes, that's for sure. Yep.
This game is going to be fun to watch. That the Rams pass rush against Russell Wilson. It's going to be a great game. I think 27-24-ish Seahawks, that kind of thing.
Yep. I think it'll definitely be close.
All right, so that's another one we got different. You took the Rams, I took the Seahawks.
Wow, I know when it started out so even out.
They were out of bad. The early games are bad. They're so lopsided. Where are we going here? Next, we got another good one.
There's another one.
8:20, Tennessee and Green Bay.
Take that back. This was the most difficult one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The two teams that play completely different
Yeah. And I
styles.
kept going back and forth on this one too.
Yeah. Now you got the Titans who have to keep pace with the Colts, who are going to clobber Pittsburgh and go to 11-4.
Yep.
And the Titans are going to know the result because the Steelers game's at 1:00. This game's at 8:20.
Yep.
So the Titans are going to know going into this game what happened with the Colts.
I honestly kept going back and forth on this game, and then all of a sudden I just said Titans because, and I should never fall into. I keep falling into this trap. I should never fall into the trap of look what happened last week. But I saw some things last week from Green Bay that I really hated, and I don't know why it doesn't have to carry over. I mean, this is a totally different game, a totally different personnel, but somehow I falling into it again, and I just keep thinking that if the Titans get the running game going, they'll keep the ball away from Rodgers enough, and to disguise their not so great defense. Because watch out if Rodgers does get 7-8 drives going, who knows? That may just be a blowout with the Titans losing. But there it goes. I'm going with the Titans.
Okay, you said some things in there, and all year long I've been saying that I think Green Bay is kind of fraudulent, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
I think they're just like they were last year. And it's the Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams show, sprinkle in some Aaron Jones. But those are and Tanyan, the tight end, gets a fair share of catches. But that's it. It's like a 4-man show for the most part.
Yeah, it is.
So, and it's kind of high flying, quick strike. Their defense is okay. Okay. It's average.
Yeah.
It's not really a championship defense.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's right. Same with Tennessee. However, you hit the nail on the head. Tennessee's got Derrick Henry. And I don't see Green Bay's defense doing much to slow him down. And as long as the weather's decent, if Tennessee goes into a 20-degree ice-covered field, that's going to be problematic.
That is a problem.
I don't know what the weather's going to be like. So without knowing that, all things being equal, I'm with you. I think Tennessee, with the ball control, they've got a bigger team. They've got a stronger team. And I just think all the AFC playoff teams are better than all the NFC playoff teams.
Yeah, I agree.
So, he's got those two giant receivers, man. Tannehill, Brown, and Davis they're giant. They're huge.
Yeah, let's not forget that their passing game still is good as well. It's not just the running.
It's been like 2 weeks ago. Brown, big game, 130 yards or whatever, a couple touches. Last week, Davis has the big game. He's able to flip flop it, and Derrick Henry's the constant that makes the universe go for this team. So I'm with you. I got Tennessee on the road, smacking Green Bay. And now we're going to have Saints and Green Bay tied going into Week 17.
I hope so, because that make that last week interesting in many ways.
Exactly. And last but not least, the Monday Nighter. So we got game on Friday, we got 3 on Saturday, we got games on Sunday, and we got Monday. That's
4 straight days.
If you're a football fan, man, put your feet up, grab the chips, put some wings in the oven. Don't move. Don't move.
I just love having that day where it's like, oh, the day's over. It's like, oh, wait, but there's games tomorrow. Oh, yes. Okay.
Exactly. It's going to be fun. I'm going to batten the hatches Saturday for sure. And just sit home and watch those games. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I kind of hope I think we're supposed to have bad weather. Are we going to have bad weather Saturday? I want bad weather, so I have an excuse to just stay indoors. Yeah.
And we know to deal with this.
I got all the yard work done. I got all the leaves raked. I didn't have anything hanging over my head that I'm like, oh, first nice day in December, I got to get back outside.
Right.
I can actually just, aside from going to the gym or something, I can do nothing. So
just watch. Yep. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Then there's this game on Monday night.
Yeah, and we know what Buffalo's done. They're like the in team now. They're like the newest one where it's like, they're gonna upset Kansas City eventually, or they
are red hot, man. They're red hot at the right time.
Which means this could have been one of those games where it's like, oh, something happens, but they're playing this Patriots team that the offense is just so putrid.
I think the only offense worse than the Steelers is the Patriots.
I mean, they just can't.
It's a high school offense. It's so bad.
I mean,
they're running those options with Cam Newton over and over again. Yeah, 3rd and 4. Let's run an option with Cam Newton, lose 2 more yards. It's amazing to watch.
Yep.
They won't let him throw. They won't let him throw. And granted, their receivers are crumb. They're crud. I mean,
yeah, he doesn't have a lot.
Harry's okay, and then there's nothing.
And that's it. They don't
no, Edelman's gone, so he's got nothing. It's so.
No, I'll say this: Belichick has had a good history of specifically bottling up Josh Allen very well. Like usually Josh Allen only gets gets half the yardage that he normally gets and half the scoring. But like I said, but as we said, that would be more than enough to beat the Patriots because the Patriots aren't going to put much at all. So you got to go with the Bills. I have to go with the Bills.
Yeah, I mean it is in New England, but there's no fans. So yeah, I mean I'd like to think that Belichick's going to try to get this team to 500 at the end of the year. He's got the Bills and the Jets. I think he's going to be 7-9. He's going to lose this week, and he's going to win the last one. So, yeah, I'm also Buffalo. So that's it for that. So let's just recap real quick our season records. I hold a slight edge, 72-38 to your 71-39.
We had 3 this time. Okay,
3 or 4 different. So
maybe it was 4. I thought it was at least 3, but maybe it was. Okay.
Yep. Remember, folks, if you're watching, please subscribe to help the channel out. The more subscribers we get, the more stuff we'll be able to do for you down the line.
Sure.
And please feel free to comment, like, dislike, comment here.
Comment, yeah.
Or on any of our videos. Let us know what you'd like to see, what we suck at.
Yeah, you could have a lot to say if you're going to say what we suck at, because there's a lot. So.
Exactly. You can find us on all the socials at GeekTime Net. Our website is geektimenetwork.com. Or you can even email us. Like the boomers, get with the boomer technology.
Yep.
Send us one of those electronic letters. So, all right, Edson. 1 more week to go after this. I can't believe it. And then we're going to get the playoffs going.
And the playoffs, yep. But in the meantime, we have Christmas tomorrow.
That's right. Hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday. Look, I got my little hat on. My little Santa hat. See that? I'm excited.
Yep. But that's even more. It's like the excitement's not ending anytime. You got the football 4 straight days. You got Christmas. I mean, look.
Yeah. If Santa comes down my chimney, I hope he brings a chimney sweep with him and get some of the creosote out because I built a fire in there the other night last week when it was cold. And it started back puffing, which means I probably need the chimney cleaned. Yeah, I gave people gifts today at my sister's house, and they're all going, "Why does it smell like burnt wood?" And I'm like, "Because my freaking fireplace back puffed into the living room." Sucks.
So you hear Santa, you got to clean up his chimney so he doesn't have to do it and can sit back and watch football all weekend.
Yeah, I'm not burning any wood till I get that thing cleaned.
Yeah.
I didn't think I didn't use it as much last year because it was a mild winter.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I could probably get away with it 1 more season of light use again. I thought, I won't build fires all the time, just once in a while. The first one, like, no, this is not good.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I waited a couple days and I'm like, let me try again. Same thing. Like, no, I'm done. I got to get it clean before they had blow half the house off.
Yep.
So, all right, man. Good luck in the games. We'll be watching.
Yeah.
And we'll be back early next week to recap week 16 and make our final picks of the regular season.
Yep.
Which is more like preseason, usually week 17.
I don't know. This year might be better than previous years. Let's see.
We'll find out. Yeah. All right. Happy holidays, everyone.
Okay.
Be safe and healthy. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?